All right, hi everybody. My name is Brett Kaiser. I graduated from Wake Forest in 2012, where I studied political science and philosophy. Currently, I live in New York City. I'm a graduate student at NYU studying business as well as public policy, so I'm entering my final year. That's enough of my autobiography. I want to talk to you about networking. Now, when I heard the term networking in undergrad, I remember just cringing and hating the idea. It brought up these images of sending long, eloquent introductory emails to strangers, cold calling people, and doing other uncomfortable things like that. We need to dispel the myth of what networking is. So I want to start today by talking about exactly what networking is in my mind and how I have decided to define it. And then I want to just give some practical tips that have helped me as I've built my professional network after leaving Wake Forest. So one, what networking is. The way that I view networking, it is just a continuation of the learning process that I had at Wake Forest. And so every single conversation is a chance to learn about a new industry, learn about a new job, learn about how other people in this world make a living. And so if you think about networking as an intellectual exercise, as a way to just connect with other people who are trying to learn just as you are, all of a sudden it relieves a lot of the pressure that we typically put on ourselves when we talk through networking. The way I always describe Wake Forest students is we're the social nerds, the people who want to take that conversation in the classroom and continue it outside of the boundaries of that classroom. And so networking is just that. It's a continuation of this intellectual process. The other thing that networking is it is building a very tangible professional network. Having a strong network won't always get you the job, but it will oftentimes buy you a first-round interview, and that can't be overlooked. So tangibly speaking, it's something really important. Let me now jump into just a few tips, things that have helped me as I've built my professional network. To start, one, always have something on the calendar. This is something that's always easier said than done, but as long as there is something to look forward to, a next conversation to have, it's a huge confidence builder, and you always feel like you're moving your career on a positive trajectory. So always have that next meeting, that next phone call, that next coffee chat on the calendar. The next thing that I want to talk about is diversifying your professional network. You never know where a good conversation can come from. I've had networking conversations with people my age. I've had conversations with people younger than me. I've had conversations with family members. I've had conversations with people who are in industries that I don't know anything about or have no interest in going into. Point being, you never know where a really good conversation will come from, and so always be open to all of those things. Thirdly, maintain your network. Of those people that you connect with and talk to, be sure to keep them in the loop. Send an email, an occasional phone call, a text message if it's a peer, but keep people in the loop on kind of how you're doing, so then they continue to stay informed and connected to what you're doing. Now the last thing, fourth thing I want to talk about, is something that is a very tangible, practical thing. But there's a question that you should end every single networking conversation with, and that is there anyone else that you recommend that I speak with on this? And so you always are able to start moving to that next conversation, and that really forces you to break out of the network of people you know. And so if you always have that question at the end, you'll always be propelling that next conversation forward. And so that's something that I try to do in every single professional networking conversation I have. That being said, again, don't put too much pressure on yourself to think through networking. It's a conversational thing. It's an intellectual exercise, and think about it as just a continuation of the learning process.